Hi there, and welcome into your astrology forecast for the end of December 2022 and bringing us into January 2023 and just a smidgen beyond. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an evolutionary astrologer, an intuitive, and I'm also a healer. Now, I do have a wonderful holiday deal that's going on right now. Now until the end of the year, so you have a little bit more time to take advantage of this, where I'm offering 10% off all of my readings, and that includes Chart Your Stars, where we look at the time of your birth and see what energies are taking place, where the planets are in the sky at the time that you were born, and how this can be a guide for you for what your soul is asking you to do and to move and lean into for this lifetime. So if you're interested in that, please send me a message. You can find the information below at my website, chrissywhistler.com. And as always, I really do appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to this channel. That does help me to break out of the YouTube algorithm to really reach and connect with more people like you who want to understand about energies and astrology and how you can meet those energies instead of really getting tossed around by that. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you so much and for saying yes to this journey. So again, wow, just kind of like a little bit of a check-in. How are you doing? I know that the holidays, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, can be a little intense. Non-stop. Very overwhelming, especially when it comes into expectations and obligations really put on our shoulders by society, by family, by our own programming. So how are you doing? How are you managing this moment? For me, I want to say I'm really tired. I feel very wrung out right now, like almost like I'm going on empty. And I know this is a really important time to be like going within, tuning in to, myself, my soul callings, and yet this current culture and life is very go, 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 always doing all this stuff, so much to do. And even just taking time out, even as I say no thank you to so much of that, somehow still get pulled into some of it. My energy is just not quite up to handling everything that's being asked of it. So yeah, I'm feeling it. And we also do have 2 December birthdays, Eric and then mine, which is going to be on the solstice itself. So that kind of all adds to the juices and this moment not being easy. And I have no doubt that many of you are experiencing similar stories, also being really tired. So if that's you, I do see you, and I also want to give you permission as well to say no thank you and to go sit down and chill out and be in stillness as much as you can, because that really is so much of what is being asked of us, so we can receive all this information and downloads that are coming. But we do need to make space in our life for that. And that is also not easy. So I see you. I really do. All right. So I wanted in this video to really kick us off with this winter solstice energy, which is on December 21st. This is for 2022, of course, and how this is going to be taking us forward and setting us up for the next 3 months. Although a lot of what I'm sharing here is going to be beyond. These are continuing themes that we are in and will be continuing to go through. So, winter solstice, okay? Many of us who are really pioneers, who are here to bring in this this new future, okay? Moving out of the old ways of doing things and bringing in new, innovative, progressive, again, revolutionary, pioneering, okay, ways of doing stuff, projects, ideas, creations, even just our way in being in the world. Now, many of us, okay, we've been really working on this in the background. And coming into these next 3 months, we are going to start to see a little bit of what we've been building and how that's coming to life. And as I said, like these us pioneers, okay, we're going to start to see the fruits of our labor kind of coming up through the earth, like sprouting. And there is also going to be more work to do, okay? The astrology in 2023 is making that very clear. We have more work to do. But we're not just going to be putting this blind faith and trust, this constant taking a leap of faith and looking around going like, okay, am I flying yet? Or am I still falling? Like, universe, when are you going to like jump in and like give me support on what's going on here? We are going to start seeing that. So it's not just going to be this constant, oh, look at this, right? Clearing that energy. So there can be a lot of throat chakra blockages that are being cleared for you this winter solstice. And again, these 3 months, okay? Maybe it's even speaking your truth around what it is that you're bringing forward. But yes, more work to do. Saturn has really been making us work for it, okay? But in working for it, we've made it better, and we are continuing to make it better as we build these foundations. Because what we are creating, us who are willing to experiment and try new things, to trailblaze, go where no one else has dared to go, okay? What we are creating will last. Although again, it's experimentation, trial and error, still going to be this continuing theme, but it will last. It's not going to be like a one and done thing, but really building into the future. Really strong foundations in what we're creating and again, building to take forward. And that energy is really going to be getting speed, okay, especially as we get into springtime in March. So just be aware that this coming into 2023 can still feel a little slow. And I'll keep coming back to that because that's a repeated theme that's happening in the astrology. But it's like we're going to have a slow start to 2023, and then the momentum is going to continue to pick up speed. Saturn is going to keep pushing us to build it, to make it into reality. Now, I'm sure you've noticed there's a lot of breaking down that's happening in our world right now. There's a lot of crumbling, a lot of shifting and changing, a lot of truths that are being brought to the surface. Those areas that power, authority, especially in the world, has been wanting to keep in the shadows and keep quiet. That's going to continue to come to the surface. And this breaking down, we are in this major passageway of change, breaking down this old and what's not working, so there's actual space to bring in the new. And that is not an easy energy to move through. I love astrology because it gives us a heads up of what's happening to make sense of it. So it's still happening. We can't change that. But what we can do is decide how we want to meet that energy. What kind of mindset, what kind of frequency and vibration are we each going to hold? Even as things in our world are just crumbling around us, and it may feel like things are falling apart and there is no hope. But there is hope. And this is happening all for this greater reason, this patterning, this weaving to bring in this new Aquarian future in this golden age. So, our choice. Do we want to approach these changes with fear, from a place of fear, or to be in love, to be in the heart space, compassionate, kind, caring, okay? Really being in that self energy. Many of the energy workers I follow, as well as close friends, my soul tribe, we've all been really pointing to the same thing, and that's the heart. So being in the heart right now, being in love is the answer for our way forward. To come into this alignment with unconditional love. And as I mentioned, we're coming into this Aquarian age, this golden age, as described in the Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, there is this choice. Are we going to try and hold on to the old systems and structures where there's only one person on top of this pyramid and everything else kind of trickle down from that one person, that one system, that belief? Or are we going to move into this more community-based humanitarian approach? That's the Aquarian energy, where we are lifting each other up, linking arms with each other. And that way together we become strong. And this thing that we're building, okay, whatever it is for you, when you do it that way, okay, that is what's going to help make it last, because it's being held up and contributed by the energy of so many people. And as sovereign beings, we are going to have a choice to align with that energy or to align with fear, really clinging and being resistant to this change, holding on to the old. So that is like just some really big theme energies that we are in and will continue well past 2023. Now, on the solstice, the winter solstice, the 21st, we have Venus conjunct Mercury in Capricorn. And both of those planets are trine to the north node of the moon in Uranus. So what does that mean? Okay. What's being asked of us? How are we showing up and communicating in our relationships, in our families, within the different systems all over our world, whether it's your work system that you're in or education system, okay, religious institutions. Are they traditions within those systems? Are they really holding on to their old values and beliefs, the way that things have always been done? Or are they willing to open up and move towards the future? You might find, like we're in the holiday season, and there are certain family traditions for how you celebrate the holidays, and there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is the way it's done. And maybe you're like, gosh, that's actually not really working for me anymore, or me and my family. Let's approach it from a different way, because this over here, this is actually what we value. Maybe you really value just being with each other, in communion with each other, as opposed to the rat race of going around and buying Christmas presents for everybody, and then half of those go in the donation box because it wasn't actually what you wanted. So again, like, how is that showing up for you? How can you meet that kind of energy? Venus is also going to be square to retrograde Chiron, who is in Aries, and Chiron will be going direct on the 23rd, which also happens to be the super new moon. I'm going to talk more about Chiron in just a minute, but just know that Chiron is a really big energy. And Venus being square to Chiron, okay, especially as Chiron's stationing direct, that's big healing energy. This is going to be healing around what we love and what we value, our bodies, beauty, our instincts, especially what has been governed in our world, okay, expectations and obligations around those themes. What part of that isn't actually working? That's not actually in alignment with you and with what you value and what your soul deeply wants. Chiron transits. Chiron can be a very powerful signature. You can really feel Chiron transits, okay? Real purging of energies can be really intense. So be mindful of what could be coming to the surface for you with that Venus energy. And again, like you might really be seeing that highlighted with family or these obligations and expectations of our society on what the holidays should be and how we should each be playing these particular roles. And you might be done with those roles. So you can have this real like purging experience because your body is like, we got to get rid of the ick. Like it's going to be coming out both ends kind of. That's what I mean by Chiron can be really intense and really ick. It's like getting that toxicity out of you. And it's also that intense because it's your soul saying, no. You see this right here? We're going to look at this. I'm going to make this so uncomfortable that you don't have a choice. So be mindful. If that's happening for you, if that's coming up for you, it means it's something you need to take a look at. And it's a real opportunity to heal those energies, to integrate those fragments and parts of you, and to move in a new direction, okay? New way forward to trailblaze. And that would be Chiron in Aries, trailblaze and being your confidence. It can even be a healing of your confidence as well. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have a crow who just started chatting with us. So that's beautiful timing. Oh my gosh, no way. So he's like the little roof slit right there. He's right there. Hey, buddy. Oh my gosh, that's magic. Yeah, he literally flew and landed right there to be here giving that message. So, there he goes. Chiron, okay, you've got messages coming in from beyond the veil. You may look for crows and other birds, I'm hearing. Messages coming in for you, but definitely crows and ravens can be bringing you messages. So tune in when they show up. What is it you're thinking about? What is it that's happening in your life? Here I am right now. I'm talking about Chiron, talking about some really deep wounds that our souls are carrying. Chiron energy is these wounds, the wounded healer that can become our greatest gifts. So what wounds are showing up for you around that Venus energy? What we love, what we value, belief systems, money as well, especially how our world sees money and exchange and value. That can be really massively highlighted at this time. All right, so we also have the sun. It's going to be on the world axis, which is the Aries point at the winter solstice, okay? And that in general oh wow. All right, clearing that throat chakra. So when we have planets on that world axis, that means that these more likely to be on the world stage, very in the public eye. So we have the sun, okay, on the world axis. It's exactly square to Jupiter, which is at the Aries point of 0. And in addition, we actually have Ceres at 0 degrees of Libra. Okay, so we have a T-square. So really big energies coming forward, setting the stage, setting this new beginning. So what does Jupiter mean at that 0 degrees? So as Jupiter has left Pisces, okay, Pisces is bringing in this bigger, higher vision, wisdom, this connection to source, flow, deeper understanding of the cosmologies, like higher viewpoints, why we're here, what is the meaning of life, what are we going to create for the future. And Aries is about freedom, sovereignty, individuality, autonomy, trailblazing, open roads, and the bravery and courage to walk those new roads. So some of the lower aspects that we could be feeling at this winter solstice point, a lot of emotional overwhelm, feeling flooded, feeling like there is no boundaries between you and the rest of the world, and you're just like, you're fried, like you can't even move because you feel everything, or everything in your body that's coming from the outside world. So that can be some of those lower expressions. Be mindful of that. Again, it's the holidays, so there's a lot going on. Also as well, the last time Jupiter was at the 0 degrees was in June of 2010 and then January 2011. So you might want to even look back on your life at that time and what was happening for you. In fact, go look at your chart as well and see where 0 degrees of Aries falls for you, what houses or planets may be really highlighted at this time, because those areas, okay, that's going to be where you can have an expansion, what growth and wisdom that can be coming in for you. And again, if you would like help with that and you would like your own birth chart reading, okay, remember 10% off, send me a message. But yeah, like this Jupiter energy can be really big expansion, especially here is the solstice, and then that energy is still going to be in effect at the new moon on the 23rd. So ushering in this new beginning, moving into Aries, okay, new beginning, this, and bringing in this higher understanding. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to start weaving in some other new aspects, looking at as well some of the Kuiper Belt objects that are coming in at this time and really like making themselves known for what they're here to do and to bring in for us in this new future, this new beginning that humanity is starting. So Jupiter is also conjunct Neptune at this at the solstice as well as this new moon. Okay, Neptune is in Pisces and Manway, the asteroid, which is at 29 degrees and 35 minutes Pisces. And these Kuiper Belt objects, they have really long orbits. So when they are activated, it's a big deal because they don't come around that often, okay? Last time Manway was at this degree was in 289 years ago. And the other ones can have like 10,000 year orbits. So just be mindful, we're talking big, long periods of time. So Manway is conjunct Jupiter at this Aries point, at this pivotal point in our collective time. Manway is actually coming from Tolkien's Silmarillion. So this beautiful highest source of divine intelligence, that's this energy of Manway, who exists beyond the dimensions of time. Manway is world renewal. And is that not where we are at this moment? Is that not what's being asked of us? What we're being pushed to do? And Kelly Hunter, the astrologer, does so much of this work about understanding and uncovering more about these Kuiper Belt objects. So definitely check out her work for more in-depth of this. I'm just going to stay kind of high level to just give you this really basic overview. But she describes Manway as being this turning point of divine intent. And Manway will actually be at the 0 degree of Aries in late January. So right where Jupiter is at the solstice, Manway will be there at the end of January. And these energies are all of this creative tension, okay? This something's got to give. The old way, it's not working, and there's this push. We're going to keep feeling this push to bring in something new. And that adding in some other energies with Exion, okay, that in the higher expression, this is a time to really follow our own inner compass, to trailblaze our path, our new directions, and not being afraid to do so. Exion is at 2 degrees and 35 minutes in Capricorn, which is conjunct the sun and moon and square to Jupiter and Manway, okay? So there's this energy coming in about our inner compass, following what feels good for us, that confidence to trailblaze, to go in these new directions. Another additional Kuiper Belt object is Quawa, who is at 6 degrees, 49 minutes in Capricorn, okay? And I actually really like Quawa because this is a creator god of the Tonga people, who are the ancient people of the Los Angeles Basin, which I am currently in. So I do want to give just so much gratitude and thanks to the ancient peoples of the land which I am on, and for bringing in this wisdom to share with you. And Quawa, okay, is this energy about creating from chaos, okay? But you can only create when you're at this higher frequency. Because if the frequency is too low, then there can be no creation. So Quawa encouraged his people to sing and to dance to help raise that frequency, and then Quawa sets the intention to create. So again, what moment in time do we find ourselves in? And here we have all these Kuiper Belt objects coming in and bringing us more into this quantum field, this quantum energy. It's like they have this life force about them. They are regenerative, creator gods, this creating from nothing kind of energy is what they have. And here we are as we're truly moving into this new earth, this new field that we haven't been in before. We also might be experiencing some new light codes and frequencies coming in, the understanding of these quantum fields, okay? We have Salacia at 6 degrees, 28 minutes in Aries, so she is also conjunct Jupiter, okay, who's conjunct Manway. So you see like the weavings of this coming together. Salacia is associated with higher frequency, photonic light, liquid light, and she's teaching us these codes, but it's also how to embody this new light body. How can we actually manifest from this quantum realm to take these dreams and actually make it real, to bring it from that invisible etheric field and make it part of our reality, which is just beautiful because I see that energy coming in as well farther on into the year with Saturn. Saturn's going to be moving into Pisces in March of 2023, and this is going to be about like to make what was invisible and unknowable and to ground it into our reality, our physical world. And we are going to have to work for it. Saturn's going to push us, put us through our paces to make it happen, but it will be real. It will be physical and tangible. There have been many studies and understandings of quantum physics and the quantum field. And I think as well with the astrology, especially as we bring in these Kuiper Belt objects and where they are at this pivotal point, our solstice, at this super new moon, the start of our new year, really ushering in this like new age of understanding around the quantum field. It feels like we're going to getting a lot of missing codes and puzzle pieces. This almost tying in of the more intuitive wisdom, tribal wisdom, also the language of consciousness that Tibetan Buddhism brings in, and that I'm learning from my mentor, Padma Khandro. And just like, again, like people like Professor Robert Pope and Rupert Sheldrake, like it's like we're weaving in stuff, okay, from all these different fields, and it's like we're getting a greater consciousness through it. And how can we use these energies in our creations, in what we are building for our world, giving back to the world, and what we're doing together. So I feel like they're all kind of working together. All these energies, more pieces are going to fall into place, more understanding is like really this new beginning kind of energy. I mentioned Saturn quite a lot. Saturn is finally moving away from that square with Uranus, as well as the square to the moon's nodes. So there's going to be this easing of energy. We're going to start to have this real forward momentum coming in, but we're still going to be seeing the old ways, the old authorities, top-down structures trying to hold on to really resist this new that's coming forward, and that we're seeing with all the Kuiper Belt objects. So be mindful that this is going to keep playing out in the world. We still have Pluto going through Capricorn. He will be dipping into Aquarius and then coming back into Capricorn in May. So we're still seeing this playing out. We got to break through all those old structures that aren't working. So just be mindful, we're still playing that dance. We do have this opportunity, though, to really go and follow our joy, what brings us happiness, and yet still caring for others as we do so. There is a choice to follow your joy, or you can choose to not care about anybody else, to find your joy and do it anyway. So can you hold balance of both, of respecting other people's individuality and sovereignty, as well as respecting yourself and what you love? You may find as well that you're still kind of piecing all that together. Your joy, your desire, your directions, like it's not quite there yet. Or maybe it's your excitement and spontaneity. This almost like figuring out the pieces of what goes here and what goes there. It's not quite in alignment yet. And that's okay too, because that's Mars in retrograde in Gemini, and that's going to start moving forward in January. So the energy is going to keep pushing us. We're going to keep moving forward, but it's okay too if you're feeling a little stuck and a little directionless. So the other thing I want to start doing as well is bringing in the other astrology out there, especially as I learn more and dive into it, with the Dream Spell calendar, which is also called the Galactic Mayan calendar, on December 22nd, which is also a portal day, 12/22/2022. In the Dream Spell, this is called the White Planetary Mirror for that day, and it's in the Moonwave spell. So it's a portal day. Okay, as I said, with just the numbers alone. But this white mirror, okay, this is the unconscious being reflected back to us from the mirror of the other. This is the Hall of Mirrors analogy. So look in the other and see your own unconscious beliefs, reactions, reflected back to you. And this is going to be the good, the bad, the illusions that you are holding on to, unfinished business. All of that energy is up. So be really mindful on the 22nd. How are you reacting? Are you acting instinctually, especially around frustration, anger, fear, judgment? So if that's the case, really hold on to the sacred pause that day. Before you react, take a moment, take a breath, okay? Align yourself, okay? Your higher self and guide is asking you to release and to surrender on the 22nd, to accept what is, to let go of resistance. And in doing so, that is how you actually come into true freedom. And so what actions can you take in order to surrender? Some of that might be forgiveness. Some of that might be letting go. And you will know in each moment what is the right for you. Really take that day to be a conscious dreamer, which just ties in so beautifully with all that hyperbolic energy, Jupiter, like really dream. Higher visions from the future, making it into a reality. So be a conscious dreamer. That's going to be our hidden helper for the 22nd, to open the playing field of possibility and to go deep into that mystery, into the unknown. Also, being mindful that you can get into the stuck energy of mindset, that there's only one path or one way of believing, one choice. So your personal path is going to be unique to you, and that's equally true of everyone else. So be sure to listen and learn, and then take action to integrate what you have learned in a way that works for you. You might find yourself in a disharmonious situation or with other people, okay, on that 22nd. So, where's the friction and conflict, okay? Holidays, anyone? So just kind of be mindful that you could be pushed into these situations, and that is so you're challenged, okay? So this can become a gift for you, to become aware of where there is harmony or disharmony, where it exists, and what needs to be let go of in your life. So mirror days are very much this, it can be this energy of bringing up to the surface, pushing you into these situations to really see what you may not want to see, making the unconscious conscious, and other people on this day are going to be holding up that mirror and doing that part for you as you equally hold that mirror for them. And don't judge yourself too harshly. Focus on your gifts and your talents. Again, hold this expanded focus that you are bringing into this life. You're bringing forward. Don't get stuck in like self-critical mind loops. You're here to do so much more. Now on the 23rd, we have our Capricorn super new moon. We've got big momentum that's starting to take place, okay? We've got planets that are going direct, and especially the end of January, that's going to be the last one. Uranus will be direct as well. So we're starting to feel that energy build, but it's not quite there yet. We have Mercury very close to the degree that we had the very powerful Pluto-Saturn conjunction that took place in January 2020. I'm sure you remember what was happening during that time. But where we are now as a collective, Our consciousness, our vibration, it's not the same as back then. So what might be coming in for us instead? What new perspectives and shifts of understanding? Capricorn and Saturn, okay? We've got the Sun and Moon in Capricorn, as well as Venus and Mercury. And Pluto. I was like, wait, I know there's 5. Where's the 5th one? And Pluto. So we have 5 planets that are going to be in Capricorn, okay? So much of what I was talking about earlier, this is building, this is constructing. And at the higher expression, this is really pushing us to grow, forcing us to grow, to go through these difficult, hard experiences so we become aware of how strong and capable we actually are. So here is this choice. What we've been through these past 3 years, what have we learned? How have we grown? How are we ready to move into the future and to build this new earth that is stronger and more capable, more experimental and different? And that's been Saturn in Aquarius, okay, as well as square the moon's nodes all of 2022, square to Uranus. So it's like Saturn and Capricorn have been putting us through this test. And now the question becomes, what are we going to do with it? Are we ready to shift our perspectives to see from these different viewpoints, higher viewpoints, and from a diversity of experiences? We can have a real transformation around the mind, intellect, and thoughts at this time, is also what we value, what we love, how we see beauty in our world and in our systems. And again, what are we going to do with that? What do we want our future to be like? And are we brave enough, strong enough to step into that future? To do the hard work that's required to keep building it, even if it's not easy and it takes a while. Okay, that's the Capricorn energy right there. I mentioned Ceres at the very beginning of this video. Ceres is bringing in this feminine energy, okay? She is the mother, provides nourishment. This is a mother's care, a hope that will be reborn from the underworld experience. So again, we have this repeated theme from the solstice about birthing our dreams, to go our own unique directions, and can we do so in a way that's supportive of everyone? This is also a real opportunity to look in our life how this mother energy, this divine feminine, has been suppressed and distorted, how the power of the motherhood, children has been taken away from us by systems and structures. And isn't it actually in balance? You know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments how that's coming up for you, and has that been your experience? Especially if you are a parent and caregiver. These energies are really asking us, like, what has been kept hidden in the shadows around the feminine, around motherhood? What is within your own unconscious that's being reflected back to you by your friends, by the outer world, at social media? Be mindful of your reactions, your triggers, your emotions, your instinctual reactions, because that is your unconscious speaking to you and pointing out these little arrows of, like, this right here, this is what you need to look at. This is this unhealed fragment and part of you, programming even, that you're holding on to, and there's something underneath there that you need to explore. We do need to keep clearing out and integrating these unconscious energies. And that's going to allow us to do that building of this new future. And just to add in as well, we have Black Moon Lilith. The corridor is in the last anaretic degrees of Cancer. Anaretic degree means this increased, intense experience when you're at those very last degrees of a zodiac sign. So opposite to Pluto in Capricorn. So we could really see this playing out in our world, systems and structures, these traditions, expectations of motherhood, how the feminine has been oppressed and repressed within all of us. Doesn't matter how you choose to be or how you associate. We all have both within us, the masculine and feminine energies. So be mindful. How has that energy been distorted? The full feminine energy, and not just the sexy, young, maiden feminine energy. We are going to be looking at the innocence of childhood, but also the crone and the actual truth of motherhood, where there are times that us as mothers who have been in that mothering, caregiving role, where we haven't showered and are weak, and our clothes could be stained with baby spit up and toddler messes. The last thing we look like is a sexy goddess. So we're looking at this full spectrum of the feminine. Not just what's beautiful and way made up and photoshopped as perfection, but this real integration and reclaiming of the feminine in all her aspects, parts, and appearances. So yeah, look for that. Look how that can be surfacing for you. And earlier I was talking about Chiron and Aries. Chiron will be stationing direct on the same day as this super new moon. So this represents a really big new beginning around whatever area is being healing and highlighted for you at this time. So please go look at your chart. See where 11 degrees of Aries falls for you by house and what planets that you can have there. And if you need help with that, if you would like a chart your stars reading and you want to know what your Chiron is telling you, this goes direct, send me a message and I will hook you up with that. But as I was saying, Chiron transits can be very tough. It can feel like we're on the operating table with no painkillers and we just had surgery. So very raw. It can be purging, this very intense, deep reflection around wounds that our souls have been carrying for lifetimes. Now, this being an Aries, this is all around freedom, independence, sexuality, autonomy, being a daredevil and trailblazer, courage, confidence. So where in your life have you been hurt or harmed, or not allowed to go to the beat of your own drum? Where have you had your confidence and the wind knocked out of you? Where have you been told that your desires are wrong or bad or not allowed? So all those kind of energies can be very highlighted, can be coming up to the surface in a really intense, painful kind of way. As I said, Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's the wounded healer who makes the best healer, because Chiron has been there. Chiron's done that. Chiron's come out the other end of that experience and is stronger and more healed from it, and has this deeper wisdom and understanding, because Chiron went and did that work to heal it, to become integrated. So now that Chiron energy can step forward and say, I know what you've been through. I understand because I was there myself. Let me help you and walk beside you as you move through that as well. So Chiron is a real gift. Chiron's also not easy. It doesn't have to always be that way, but you will know if that's being highlighted for you. So Chiron going direct at this super new moon, okay? Really big healing opportunity if we are willing to go into the depths. Chiron is also aspecting the South Node in Scorpio, as well as Mars retrograde in Gemini, and as I said earlier, square to Venus in Capricorn. So what we love, what we desire, what from the past that we've swept under the surface, it's finally time to be brought to the light, brought from those shadows, from our unconscious, so we can heal and integrate. So look for that. I will also add as well that on December 27th, we have the third exact Pluto return for the United States. Pluto has about a 246 to 248 year cycle. So we can be seeing more massive transformation happening in the States, spiritual, political, values, constitutional. This is going to be going on for several years because Pluto moves so slowly. But this is just that third exact point, and we'll see what continues to play out from here. But just know that that is happening. That is happening, and it is again affecting us on the world. As I mentioned, we have the Aries point, the Sun, Moon. We've got Jupiter. This is world stage here. So just be mindful of what's happening around this moment. Don't get caught in the fear. Stay in your heart, no matter what comes forward. Also on the 28th, we have Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn. Okay, so in general, this is going to be a really important time to be discerning. What energy do you want to be carrying forward, and what do you want to leave behind to this new year? All of the intuitive readings that I did for December, and you can see all those on my YouTube channel, each and every one of them, since the Sagittarius new moon at the end of November, they've all been focused about going within, really tuning into ourselves and asking what baggage within us that we're carrying are we ready to let go of and leave behind. So that's even more important as we are making this shift into 2023. Which is just in general going to be this paradigm shattering understanding coming to light, a year of big beginnings, big endings. So focus on what you want to create. We are the co-creators of this reality, and so let's claim that power back. Let's claim our sovereignty. Let's be in our hearts and connect to the oneness. And then just go dream. Dream bigger than you have ever dreamed before. Pluto is going to be really highlighted in 2023. I'll be having more videos talking about that. But just know this is the time to reclaim our power, our sovereignty, to be actual co-creators of this dream. And we must make what is in the shadows, what is in the unconscious, conscious. Because when we see it, that is when we can heal it and integrate it and truly step into our sovereignty and not just be reacting from that unconscious place. That's that deep healing work coming through with Pluto, as well as the South Node going through Scorpio, and will be there until the end of July of 2023, okay? And as I mentioned, Chiron stationing direct. So this energy, very highlighted. And to add in as well to that additional message, on the 23rd of our, which is our new moon, is also the blue spectral storm in the dream spell calendar. And so that's all about transmuting this energy in the storm. It is about transformation. Those unconscious parts that we need to process, which is just beautiful because the day before is that white mirror. And so it's everyone reflecting our unconscious back to us. And here we have on the 23rd this new beginning, this opportunity to transmute and transform those energies and to step into this new future. So really being we're being very supported by many different astrological systems right now, many different energies kind of coming forward and supporting us at this time. Really look within yourself for answers and for understanding, because what you are seeking, it's already within you. So pay attention. Your soul, your body, those wounds that your soul is speaking to you with, okay? It's your choice to listen or not. It'll be your choice to tune in, to learn, to understand what is being spoken to you. Pretty much all this year, we've had Uranus conjunct the moon's nodes in Taurus. So this is a time to be a pioneer. But that also means that we're going to fail a lot. And we might fall down because we are experimenting. We're trying new things. We're getting that feedback. We're learning what works and what doesn't. And it is okay if it takes time to really hone in and to bring this all together, especially this community that we're here to work with and to bring all these energies in with. I know that was a lot. There really is many elements adding and weaving in together, but I wanted to give all that for you. So you know and understand that whatever's happening in your life, whatever may be happening in the world around you, you're not just getting tossed around in that storm. You have the choice to be within the center of it, to be in the eye of it, to be in that place of calm and creation. So really, again, speaking of Kwawa, sing, dance, be in your heart, raise your frequency and vibration. Focus on what you want to dream, because wow, there's so much energy supporting us in our dreams right now, and we need to make that conscious choice to go do that and to not stay in that place of fear, but that place of creation and love. So thank you all so much for watching and tuning in. And please remember, if you would like a 10% off discount for Chart Your Stars, or as well of my other readings, Messages from Your Soul, that is available until the 31st. So take advantage of that. Send me a message and we'll get you on the calendar. And again, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. That does help me so much. So let me know in the comments below how this December, how these energies are shaping up for you, so I can see you and support you on your journey. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.